For this effect, I would start off by handing the deck over to the participant, and they can give the cards a shuffle. After they're done shuffling the cards, they would hand back the deck, and I explain that I am going to go through the cards and take out two predictions here. So let's say that these are the two predictions I want to take out. In this case, the 10 of clubs and the 2 of clubs. I would ask the participant, which card would you like to start with first? Let's say they name the 2. I would then tell them that I'm going to deal cards like this into one pile, and they call out stop whenever they would like. Let's say they call out stop here. They can place the 2 face up where they called stop, and the rest of the cards go on top. I would tell them we're going to do that again, but I would like for you to call stop before we get to your 2 of clubs here. So you really have a lot of cards here to call out stop on. So let's say as we go through here, the participant calls out stop right now. They place the 10 in, and the rest of the deck goes on top. We're now going to spread through the deck, and we are going to take out the two prediction cards and the face down card on top of the two prediction cards. Now remember, the deck was shuffled. You called out stop whenever you wanted, and let's take a look at the two cards you called out stop on. For the 10 of clubs, we have the 10 of spades, and the 2 of clubs is the 2 of spades, just like that. A perfect match. If you would like to learn how to do this, stick around for the tutorial. Before I get into the tutorial, the cards I am using are bicycle cats. I have a deck review on these. I will link that in the description. So there are a few ways you can go about this effect. So I'm first going to show you the easiest way you can do this for beginners. The second way I'm going to show you is what I did in the performance. And then the third way is a slight variation. So I just changed it up just a little. So the first thing you can do is hand the deck over to the participant to shuffle up the cards. Now it does help if you have 52 cards. If you don't, when you're looking for your two predictions, you should be able to tell if you have a card missing or not. So here's what you're gonna do. Once you get the deck handed back, you explain you're gonna make two predictions. So you turn the deck face up and you spread through the cards like this. So the participant only sees the back of the cards. You don't want them to see the faces any. So this is called a necktie position. So it's going to be in a vertical position, sort of like a necktie. And what you're going to do is you're going to take a look at the top and bottom card. In this case, the 8 of hearts and the king of clubs. So what you're going to want to do is take out the soulmates to these two cards. If you're not familiar with soulmates, I will leave my video in the description for soulmates. But a real quick tutorial for soulmates is this. First of all, it's going to be the same number and the same color, in this case red. Hearts go with diamonds, and if it's black, it's going to be the same color and number, but instead, clubs go with spades. So that's really all you need to know. Just same color, same number. Red, hearts and diamonds. Blacks, clubs and spades. So you're going to go through and you're going to look for those two cards. So in this case, I see the 8 of diamonds, and I like to leave these face down at the start, just to build a little suspension. You don't have to, but I just like to do it. You now turn the deck face down, and then you can turn these face up. You now are gonna tell them that you're gonna start dealing cards and they're gonna call out stop whenever they want. One thing you do want to do though is when you're looking for your two predictions, just remember what card is on the bottom. In this case, the King of Clubs, meaning the King of Spades is the card that's gonna go with the King of Clubs. So you're gonna start with the soulmate first. So really the bottom card, that soulmate, you're going to start dealing under this card first. So you say you're going to start dealing into one pile and you put down that 8 of hearts first. And now they can really call out stop whenever they would like. Just make sure they're not one of those people that go right to the bottom of the deck for that last card. Usually it won't happen, but there is that chance. When they call stop, you say, okay, pick up the king, and just be casual about it. Just make it so it's not a big deal that you just decided to start dealing and you happen to start under the king first. You didn't, prearrange it or whatever. You want everything to seem random. So they place the king face up on top. And when you place the deck on top, if you look, you're going to see the king of spades goes with the king of clubs. Meaning on the bottom now is the 8 of hearts. The 8 of hearts was on the top at the start. You dealt the 8. And then when you place the deck on top, then move the 8 to the bottom. You now go over to the 8 of diamonds and you tell them, I'm going to deal again, but I want you to call out stop a few cards before the king. You just want to do that because you don't want them to call stop, first of all, on the soulmate king. You don't want them to call stop on this king, and then it's gonna mess up this prediction here. But if you just did the 8 of hearts singly, which I will show you as well, and then it will work. So let's say they go ahead and they call out stop right here. We place the 8 down, the other 8 goes on top, and now you are all set. So you're going to take out the face up card with the first face down card either to the right of the 8, the face down card that could cover the 8, or on top of the 8. And then we do the same thing with the king. And now you can recap the entire effect, show all the cards are different, but they happen to stop at the perfect match, just like that. So that is the beginner way you can do this, and probably the easiest way as well. Let's get into what I did for the performance. It's slightly the same, but there is one little thing you'll have to do. You may have seen it on camera. There's not much I can do on camera, but in real life, this would work better. So it's going to be like before. You have the deck shuffled, and you're going to take out the soulmates. Now, one thing I should have covered at the beginning, which I didn't actually. Okay, so this is good here. Let's say you shuffle and you look at the top and bottom cards and you see they're both jacks. You could do a few things here. The first thing you could do is cut the deck and get a new pair of soulmates. The next thing you could do is, shuffle the deck and then get a new pair of soulmates that way. Or what you could do is take either jack and lose it in the deck, and then you're going to still have a jack either top or bottom, but opposite, you're going to have a different soulmate. I hope that makes sense, but that is in case you have two soulmates like that. So if we look, we're actually perfect here. So we're going to go ahead, once again, do everything like this, so they only see the back of the cards. But this time, it really doesn't matter if you leave these face down or turn them face up at the start. And these happen to be next to each other, which was perfect. So, like the first way you saw it, You knew which card you were going to start with first. It seemed random to the participant. However, this time you can have the participant choose, like the performance, hey, which card would you like to start with first? And you might be wondering, well, if they start with the 6, the 10 is on the bottom. So when you do a second time around, that other 6 will be with the other 10. There's a move you're going to have to do, but this will actually work out. So let's say they start with the 6 again. So they're going to deal like this, and it's going to be that 6, but that's going to come the second time around. So they call out stop. Or if you're comfortable, you could hand the deck over to the participant, and either the first time or both times around, if you explain everything correctly, they could do this whole thing themselves. But they put the 10 down, and now you tell them just deal again, but stop a few cards before that 6. And now if you look, you're going to see that 6 on the bottom. So they deal again. Let's say they stop here, they put the 10 down, and the 6 goes on top. You're going to do the same thing as before. So you're going to take out those face-up cards, but you're going to have the face-down card on top of it. However, this time, you're going to be talking to them while you do this move, just for a little misdirection. You're going to pick up both cards like this while you're talking about whatever you would like. I like to recap everything that has happened. I'm going to pick them up like this. I'm going to lift them face up, and without moving a beat, I'm going to bring them together. And essentially, I'm just going to swap hands with what cards I'm holding, and then I can bring them down. So it looks like really all you did was you lift them up, you bring them together, and then you just bring them down. But really exposed, okay, here's what you're gonna do. So I bring them up, and then I go like that. And that really is the move. It's not very hard. If you try it out yourself, it's gonna work fine. I'm gonna do this one more time very slowly so you can see everything. And as you can see, my hands just stayed where they were. I didn't miss the beat, but when the cards actually came in, I was just able. So my left hand card was grabbed with my right hand, and my right hand card was grabbed with my left hand, and then I put them down. And that is what I did in the performance. You might have caught it, but in real life, if you're talking to them and you look them in the eye and they look back at you, the little misdirection, you should be able to do that just fine. Let's go over 2 more ways really quick to do this. So first, I want to go over the single card method because that is just a step down from the 2 predictions. So the deck is shuffled, you say you're going to make a prediction, it's just going to be the bottom card. So it really doesn't matter if the soulmate is next to the prediction or on top. It really doesn't matter. So I go through, and the only reason you do it this way is because if they spot this card and then they see your prediction matches it, that's gonna ruin everything. So I take out the king, and now I'm just gonna deal like this, and they could really call stop whenever they want. They could probably call out stop on the last card as well. So if we put that in, and then we spread the deck, just like this, the one card on top of it is going to be the soulmate. Now, let's say you wanted to force the top card on them, okay? All you would have to do is get the card to the bottom. So you could do that any way you would like. I'm going to leave the double undercut in the description along with some card controls. But really, you would just catch a break and then you could just double undercut it. I'll leave a link for the pinky count down below as well, because that's a good way to catch a break. But you deal, they call stop, you put the prediction in, it still matches up, and then you still have your effect there. Let's say, however, and then we'll get into the last way. I don't want this video to be too long. It already is quite long. But let's say you have your prediction right here, and you deal, and they happen to call out stop on the last card. So when you put your prediction down, and then this card goes on top, it's gonna be a little weird to just take off the top card and then show it this way. So what I would recommend, honestly, is giving the deck a cut, and then you could give it a few cuts, and then to mix it up even more, you could give it some false cuts. If you're not familiar with false cuts, I will leave those in the description. But then you can spread, take out the card on top, and there is the card. And the last way you can go about this is having two cards selected, and then you just want to control one to the top and the other to the bottom. Take out those soulmates, and then they will have found the two selections. One thing I do want to point out, though, which is rare, could happen, is let's say when you're going for the soulmates, you see the two cards on the top and bottom are the two aces. What do you do then? Well, you just go through and take out the other two aces. If you don't have those other two aces, you could use something like a pair of kings or really anything to find them. And then at the end, you would have a four of a kind, just like that. And that is the video. So I hope you really enjoyed this and you really enjoyed all the ways for this effect. I tried to find different ways for everybody because I know there are different categories out there of magicians. So hopefully there was something here for everyone. And of course, you can always expand and improve upon these. If you do, I want to see how you do actually change it. So let me know in the comments, whether with a link to a video or some typed out comment or something like that. If you are new here, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next time with a new video. Bye.